this group of captains and that were elected, you're happy with what they did?
Very happy. I think the players did a great job selecting them. Got the two big fellows inside on defense, Lowell and Moko. Great leaders. Have been leaders ever since last spring. They've really stepped up and taken ownership. And then Troy and Lecca, same way. I mean, the players, it wasn't even close. I mean, those were the four captains, offensively and defensively, that were pretty obviously separated from the rest of the crew. Special teams wise, it was just about a dead heat. So what we did is we named for the first time two special teams captains, Mitch and Christian Drews. And Christian has been a special teams warrior ever since he got here. He starts on every special team. He's a great competitor. And then Mitch, great talent, and really has taken charge of the specialist group. It was Andy and Andy's group for the last several years, and now it's Mitch's turn to be the guy that they look to. So, long story short, very pleased with what the players selected, who they selected.
Can I read anything into Troy Williams being a captain?
No, nothing. It's got nothing to do with position battles, and we made that very clear when we talked about the vote, that it's not a popularity contest, it's not the best football players, it's not even necessarily starters, it's who are the best leaders right now. So that's what it boiled down to.
With this being the last few days of camp before you get into regular season mode, I mean, what are you looking at to kind of shore up, or where are you at?
Well, the put-in is essentially done. It's now a matter of starting to game plan and gear up for North Dakota, but we've still got too many offensive penalties that we're dealing with right now, illegal procedures, illegal formations. So there's a lot of cleanup work to do on offense. Defense, we've had a good camp, running to the ball, very few assignment errors, although the defense has been pretty simplified. I mean, there's not a ton of stuff that they got to learn, just let them play. And so it's a matter now of staying healthy up until play 2 weeks from tonight, and make sure we're in condition. Our conditioning level is where it needs to be, and just continue to polish everything out.
In the time that we got to saw, it seemed like the kicking game kind of struggled. Where are you at with that, and how confident are you going into the season?
Well, it's a two-man race, Jaden Johnson and Matthew Gay for the place kicking. We're not where we need to be. They had we had 2 sessions today. The first session was outstanding, and the second session the wheels came off. And so it was, just seeing the second one, I can see what your evaluation was. But we feel we got 2 weeks to get it set. It's not like a quarterback where you got to get it set, at least X amount of days in advance. Kicker kick, that's what you do. And so it's not, we can take that competition as far as we need to.
You spoke pretty highly of the secondary, early on. I mean, are you still there with them, or
Still,
they gotten better?
Absolutely.
Where are they at?
They continue to improve. We have, Chase Hansen, who has not been practiced yet, but we expect him back very soon. That'll get that secondary loose. And we've had some corners that have been banged up, and not having Tariq Lewis make it, it puts a little bit of a damper on it, but still very optimistic that this group could be outstanding.
Who do you think has separated themselves in that secondary?
Julia Blackman, Jalen Johnson, Casey Hughes, Kendrick Young has really done a nice job since making the transition. Corian Ballard is a playmaker. I really like Marquise Blair. He's a guy that is an intriguing football player. He makes a lot of plays, and he's got a lot of ability.
Is there hope that Chase
and Booby Hobbs at the nickel? I always seem to forget about the nickel guys. Booby Hobbs, all 3 of the nickels, Hobbs, Guidry, and
Burgess.
Terrell. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good call.
Is there an update on Chase Hansen yet?
Is there what?
Update on Chase Hansen.
We just expect him back out here in the next inside of a week. How about that? Back on the practice field.
Any update on Vickers? I know you've got this question.
Today is the day.
Today's the day. So
no, today's not Friday. Tomorrow's the day.
Okay.
Tomorrow's the day, and so we'll know tomorrow one way or the other.
Do you have a backup plan for Vickers like you did Lewis, having Lewis come in January?
Not quite as cut and dried there. There's no redshirt year available, and so that's a decision that's got to be made. Yeah, it's not as.
You feel, excuse me, Coach. You feel like every year with you guys there's a very thin line between being a 500 team and being a team that wins 8 or 9
Absolutely.
games.
I think every team in the country, most every team in the country is in that same boat, and the margin between winning and losing is razor thin, and a couple of players here or there can tilt that balance, and the difference between the first and the second team in the conference is very thin. There's just a little bit that separates.
Has that changed over the years, do you think? Or is it always
No, I think at this level, that's always been the case. You know, we're in the Mountain West. You can take some of those hits and still be okay. We're so at this level. So,
Is there a chance that naming a quarterback starter could roll on past next week or
I
into
don't
next
think
week,
so.
or Monday is kind of a drop
I
dead
do
day?
not think so. I'm not going to hold myself to that, but I think that we're just about ready to make that decision very quickly here.
You guys will just make a public announcement, or just
Yeah. Would you like one? We can do that. We can do that. As soon as we know, then we'll get the announcement made.
Do you have to have a great quarterback with all the other great ones in the coach?
Sure helps, and when you have great quarterback play, you get a chance to win every single week. I don't care who you're playing against. If you get great quarterback play, that is the most important thing to an offense. It's great quarterback play, and this is the league of great quarterbacks. There's a bunch of them, and you know, it's real hard to win if you don't have that level of play at the quarterback position. So it makes it twice as hard.
How are tight ends coming along with the injuries?
Yeah, they're kind of well, right now. Baka Falamaka is continuing to work hard. He's getting a lot of reps. He's, you know, with Ciali and Harry Hanley down, we moved Jake Jackson over to tight end. It looks like a move that's going to stick. He seems to be more natural there than a linebacker, and so they're working hard. But it's going to be great to get Ciali and Harry back, and when that happens is anybody's best guess. But hopefully it's before game one.
Can Harry still long snap or be a snapper?
Harry's not able to do
Okay.
How would you describe some of the biggest responsibility of the guys that you've named captains, or being in that position?
Setting the bar and then demanding that everyone lives up to those expectations. They've got to, by example, set the standard, and then once you've set the standard through your example, you demand that everybody does the same thing. And those guys, and it's not just on the captains. We get the whole senior class. I view the whole senior class in a leadership role, as well as some of the underclassmen. So it's not just on those 6 captains, but that's the true mark of a leader: is he sets the standard and then demand you live up to it. That's how we define it here.
When you were recruiting Troy, did you imagine he'd be a back-to-back starter?
Troy Williams.
Back-to-back senior captain, sorry. Did you imagine him
That's
being back-to-back?
coming from junior college to right in the captainship. That's a sign that the players really respect him and that his work ethic is really good.
I apologize if you've been asked this already, but any update on Vickers?
Yeah, well, no, the update is tomorrow is the date that we're either in or out. So.